Hello, Kaizeners, and welcome to a new episode of the Kaizen Podcast with a very special guest and colleague from Spain, Borja Iglesias, Senior Partner for Kaizen Institute Western Europe. Welcome, Borja.
Thank you, Aleix. It's a pleasure.
So, Borja, maybe let's start by getting to know you, because probably some people of the audience already know you, but some people not. So I would like to know, who is Borja Iglesias?
Who I am? Well, I am an engineer. I was one of the best students of my promotion in university. I had the opportunity to work as an engineer in the automotive industry. I am from northwest of Spain, from Vigo in Galicia. We have a lot of automotive industry there, so I was working for a few years as an engineer. And then I had the opportunity to join this amazing company that is Kaizen Institute, where we have learned most of the things I know today. We usually say that 1 year in Kaizen Institute is like 5 in a regular industry. So I am almost 20 years working here, so I am almost 100 years of experience. But this is a very nice journey. Today, as you say, I am a senior partner of Kaizen Institute, in charge of some of the biggest accounts we have globally with multinationals, but also try to develop the region of Spain.
And how did it start, the journey with Kaizen? Like, why Kaizen and Kaizen Institute? What's the beginning?
To be honest, on my hometown, we are not so used for consulting activities. So for me, it was like a discovery. I didn't know exactly what it was. But from the very beginning, I understood this was made for me. So the opportunity to work in different projects every day with different challenges, always learning, leading teams from the very beginning, I think it's incredible for a young engineer. I had the opportunity to work in two big customers at the beginning, in different sectors. I remember a big transformation project in an automotive industry, tier 1. That was for me the way to see how all the Toyota production system was working in place. Automotive industry at that time already had most of the basics, so it was not, let's say, a basic stability activity. It was a complex transformation. We worked a lot for improving productivity in production areas. They had a lot of assemblies. But I understood that big containers in the border of line was not good for productivity. So we changed all the containers to put trolleys with wheels close to the operators. We changed all the internal logistics from forklift for small Mitsubishi trains and milk runs to move material with more frequency to the reach of the hands of the operators. We put all stock that was in big shells in height. We put this at floor level, so productivity also for continuous improvement in logistics. We changed all the planning process. So it was a very, let's say, technical transformation with, I guess, around 30% of productivity improvement in short term. But at the same time, I was also working in process industry that has nothing to do. It was a big project in wood industry. They was producing boards of wood for furniture and so on. And it has nothing to do with the other part, but it's exactly the same Kaizen principles applying, but in this case, more about efficiency of big equipment. Working a lot with maintenance teams to reduce repetitive problems, changeovers reduction, also planning activities, a lot of activities also for quality improvement to reduce waste in material. So I had the opportunity, I think in the first 2 or 3 years, to work in big customers in a very different sectors, and it gave me a real view of how Kaizen can transform more organizations, no matter the sector. Later, I also worked a lot in services, but at the beginning, I was working more in industry, and it was a nice beginning.
What was the most challenging thing from those first projects, first years, in applying the methodology as a new thing to you at the moment?
For me, for example, in automotive industry, I learned that it's not only about waste. We usually talk about the 3 M's, the muda, muri, muda, muri, muri. I was a lot of focus at the beginning on waste, but I understood that variability in the organization creates a lot of waste. So for example, in this automotive industry, and mainly working in logistics, I understood that if you have different workstations with a lot of variability in the number of boxes they need, it creates a lot of stress in operators. So you will have to put more people than needed, only because sometimes you have a peak of load that it's not easy to plan. So I learned a lot about how to address variability, also to reduce waste. It's also an important topic that I think at the beginning is not so easy to understand. I think one of the challenge was also related with resistance to change. We talk a lot about this. But we need to respect people. So the way we involve people in the shop floor during the changes, not only when the standard is already done, but letting them participate in the definition of the new standards is very also effective for reducing resistance to change. And I think that was maybe the main challenges there. And in process industry, for me, the main challenge was that the Gemba was not talking by itself. When you go to a discrete assembly, you see things, you see waste, you see people moving, you see material waiting. But when you go to a process industry, you see a big machine, all pipes all over there, and you don't see waste as itself. So it's more about making processes visible, so waste is more visible. And it's the same in service areas. When you go to a bank or to a hospital, you don't see waste. But it's not because it's not there, it's a lot of, but you need to make it visible first.
You just don't see it, right?
Yeah, and it's even worse because they don't see waste, so it's probably even worse.
You have to convince people, and this resistance is even higher. So looking at all these learnings that you had, Borja, and the knowledge that you have today, we, as Kaizen Institute, we thrive for implementing the methodology, the Kaizen methodology in companies to improve the operational excellence, to improve quality, delivery, cost, growth, amongst others. Why do you think nowadays companies that didn't implement Kaizen yet, they should be doing that? Why CEOs should look at Kaizen as a methodology to boost their operational excellence?
I usually tell my customers that it's not easy to be the best in something. It's really time consuming, but we are in a very high competitive market in general, in any market. And I think that continuous improvement is the only way to be the best in something. No matter if you are the third, the fourth, the fifth, but if you are the best improving, sooner or later you will be the best. And companies are complex. They have a lot of departments, a lot of people. All of them are important somehow. If not, these departments will not exist or would not exist. So what is for us the smartest way to run a business is to rely on a continuous improvement program for every part of the company, for everybody in the company. So if you are the best improving, sooner or later you will be the best in your market. And if you keep being the best improving, probably you will continue to be the best forever. So as a CEO or as a corporate director, you have a lot of people below. You don't have the control of what they are doing. So I think the best thing you can do is to create a system that ensures that people is really well organized, aligned with what's important, spending time where you really need them to spend time, with a process control that ensures that processes are really reliable, and develop people so they can improve by themselves. And this is why today I think Kaizen is probably the smartest way to run a business.
And with all these kind of new trends that are happening, like artificial intelligence, digitalization, how do you see this type of trends, this type of challenges that we have in society, and how they will, in your opinion, affect the implementation of these models, operational excellence models based on Kaizen?
I think technology is always good. So it's something we should use and use wisely and properly. I think today and in the near future, we will have much better tools, mainly for data collection, data analytics, that is very useful for planning, for efficiency analysis, for quality problems analysis. I think these kind of tools, we need to consider them. But I also think we should not make again the same mistake that I think in the past some of us have made, to think that technology will solve our problems by itself, because it's not. Technology is not new. We also had ERP systems and CRM and a lot of software capabilities that when we purchase, we think it will change for the better by itself, and then we discover that it's not. Technology helps, but not solve problems by itself. It's more about processes and people. So I think the challenge for the near future is to understand that these new trends or technologies or systems can help, should help, will help, but the processes and the people around, the way you organize your people, the way you use this information, the way you solve the problems is really what will make a difference. So I think in parallel to any system or new technology, I think it's very important to understand what are your processes, bring technology aligned with your processes and not in the opposite, and ensure that you focus your people on solving problems and improving your processes.
Borja, thank you so much for being with me today, sharing your insights. I hope it was also a pleasure from your side.
Of course.
And for our audience, we will be having new recordings soon, so stay tuned and I'll see you soon.